The new Mazda CX-9 has the best ground clearance at 8.8 inches. The only way that you would top this would be on the Honda Pilot if you get the Trail Sport. Now, adaptive LED headlamps just shows you how much luxury you're getting for that price tag. LED fog lamps with the chrome surrounding it. It is a fake vent in matte black. I wish it was in the gloss black. I know even though it's fake, it still would look more sporty that way. 20-inch multi-spoke black alloy wheels. The chrome will accent on the sides and on the back between your dual exhaust outlets. A more smoother ride because we have four-wheel independent suspension, McPherson front strut suspension, a multi-link rear suspension behind these 20-inch wheels. 12.6 inches is the disc reading in the front. 12.8 is the rear. It's ventilated. G-Vectoring Control Plus. This is going to help you with cornering through the engine, throttle, torque, and the brake pressure. It's not going to be the shortest in length at 199.4 inches, a wheelbase at 115.3. The Jeep Grand Cherokee L will be the longest. It's about 5 inches longer. Towing up to 3,500 pounds. The chrome that goes yet again into your tail lamp assembly like it does similarly into the front. Going inside to your power tailgate, 14.4 cubic feet. You have some storage underneath the floor with a 12-volt charger. Split fold the third row to a 50-50 split that's going to increase the cargo to 38.2 cubic feet. Fold down the captain seats, maxing the cargo to 71.2 cubic feet. The only inline four-cylinder turbocharged vehicle in its segment when you're looking for premium luxury. Let's go inside, start it up so you can hear that exhaust note. The Mazda CX-9 really is daring when they go for a turbocharged inline four-cylinder because everyone in this segment that's premium luxury is either a 6 and they even option it up to an 8. They back the performance of the 2.5-liter Skyactiv G inline four-cylinder turbocharged, producing 250 horsepower and 320 pound-feet of torque. That's paired to a 6-speed automatic transmission. Now, if you option to not get premium gas, meaning you get the lowest gas level, 87 octane. Your HP or horsepower will go down to 227. Your pound-feet of torque to 310, 20 to 26 mpgs. A 0 to 60 is around 7 seconds with a quarter mile around 15.5 seconds. So putting it pretty much right on the blend. It's going to be faster than the Kia Telluride. It's going to be faster than the Infiniti QX60. So you're going to have that premium luxury in the slot in between. It's also not going to be as long as a Jeep Grand Cherokee L, so you fit that portfolio where you're under 200 inches, you have room for 6, and you still have towing capabilities. Let me know in the comments what you think about the 2023 Mazda CX-9 Carbon Edition. As we go into the interior, go over the tech, and take this for our test run. Entering inside the Mazda CX-9, headroom starts at 40.1 inches, legroom at 41 inches. Bucket front seats in red. Contrast stitching, 10-way power adjustment memory for the driver, 8-way power adjustment for the passenger, heated and ventilated. The door panel goes into the dash. Closing up the air vents, giving a sporty / luxury look. You get the carbon look throughout the center with the chrome around your air vents, encasing this 10.25 infotainment screen. It's non-touch. Unfortunately, you do have to use the rotary knob, but very simple. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Sirius XM, streaming Bluetooth audio. With navigation, switch it to reverse, you have the reverse lines and front and rear parking sensors, so it does make it easy for your reversing. Elbows are going to be pretty soft, open up inside. It's a 2-tier, 2 USB ports, and it's a deep storage. Cup holders, a 16.9 ounce fits without any issue. I would say about a 32 would be max. Charging pad, the gloss black around your gear lever, and you get the leather with the contrast stitching. You have your sport mode here, and you can also toggle it to your normal. Leather wrap, heated, multi-function, 3-spoke with the paddle shifters on the steering wheel. Everyday materials go into the door panels. You get the brushed aluminum look, contrast stitching in the red, soft where you rest your elbows, one touch up and down for your windows with the gloss black and the chrome surrounding it, upgraded Bose sound system with a large storage pocket. For the second row, I'm at 38.5 inches of headroom, 39.4 inches of legroom. I fit without any issues because captain seats, it just makes it more comfortable, and they're standard now, which is a great thing when you get into the touring trim. I can adjust this so it is a four-way adjustment. If I adjust it all the way up to the front, you can see it's going to be tough for me to fit up here, but back there you can just recline. If you put it kind of in the middle, that seems to be the best for both worlds. The nice thing about this particular vehicle is it's not so long and you don't have to move the driver or passenger seat up. You can also recline this. If you do, unfortunately, me at 6'3", there's no way I'll be able to fit there. The pass-through does help and it makes more space. In the center, you got your third climate control, heated seats, air vents, cup holders, 2 USB ports, double storage behind both of the front seats. So I do like the fact that we're taking care of there. The door panel, everyday materials with a carbon interior, soft for your elbows, contrast stitching, gloss black with the chrome, one touch up and down, Bose sound system, and a large storage pocket complements the back. So I do like that we have plenty of storage with all that. We have a manual sunshade. For the third row, I'm at 35.4 inches of headroom, 29.7 inches of legroom. You can fit 2 adults 6'3" in the back. You're gonna get a smaller window because it's a sleek appearance on the exterior. Both sides gets a USB, a cup holder, and a storage tray. More firm materials back here. The seats are comfortable, and because we have a pass-through, you could just kind of stretch your legs out. Taking the 2023 Mazda CX-9 Carbon Edition out for our test run, 2.5 liter turbocharged inline 4-cylinder, 250 horsepower, 320 pound-feet of torque, which is the best torque in its class, comparing it to all of the competition in which I've been talking about today, unless you option a Hemi or the Jeep. Towing capacity is pretty much right on with the rivals at 3,500 pounds. So it's not too bad with that. Obviously the Jeep will tow more, but the ground clearance at almost 9 inches is right at the best in class. Independent 4-wheel suspension is going to glide over things, and the nice thing about an independent suspension is it's more athletic, so you can do some cornering in the vehicle. Obviously this is not something you want to go crazy with. You're not going to take it on a track. However, 0 to 60 around 7 seconds, so it is pretty quick getting up onto the interstate. 6-speed automatic transmission. Most of the rivals are optioning an 8-speed, so that gives you higher RPMs, which goes for your gas consumption, but it's also healthier for your turbo. We're going to stop here. We're going to make sure we're in sport mode. We're going to use those paddle shifters, and here we go. I mean, for an inline 4-cylinder turbocharged, typically what I would be saying is, oh, you're gonna hear a drone note. You hear a pretty throaty exhaust note out of it. 4-wheel independent suspension, look what you can do. And you don't have that much roll with it, unless obviously you're going crazy speeds, which I don't recommend that, and you want to take them at speeds that you feel confident. Don't go crazy, because this is not a sports car. Now there is 3 things I like and 3 things that I dislike. Is anything more than that, I'd be buying this Carbon Edition. 3 things that I like about the vehicle: third row seating. Now we have standard captain seats in the touring trim and up, and when you get the Carbon Edition, you get the touring edition plus you get the Carbon Edition. So you're getting a lot of value when you're at this level, and everybody's wanting these captain seats. There's a disadvantage, which is when you're in the third row, because of the captain seats, and when you're sitting in the back, you kind of sit a little bit inwards because of the panels. That being said, where the tracks are for those seats, you just have to find a happy medium, a little bit of footsie. The second thing that I like about the vehicle is Mazda optioned 4-wheel independent suspension. Almost all of the competition doesn't offer that. And obviously you can get some more off-road oriented vehicles, but if you're looking for luxury and sport, you capture that with this. The last thing that I like about the vehicle, you're around $46,000. All of what you're getting, adaptive headlamps, everything LED in the exterior, You're not going to get that with any of the rivals. Everybody starts at a 50,000 plus. Give her a little go, let's rock and roll. And it stays pretty quiet for the most part. Upgraded 20-inch wheels. You're gonna hear a little bit of road noise through the wheel well area. The front windscreen, you have some pretty beefy A-pillars. Brakes, they're not as grabby as some of the rivals. I will say that this, anything that's around 4,500 pound curb weight, you do want to make sure that you give some distance with braking, because these vehicles, it's almost 200 inches long. It's still a long and a heavy vehicle. As for dynamics, the steering wheel is very light, so for a long journey, it's going to be very smooth. When you get into the Jeep line, it's going to be a little bit more weight, but I mean, I like a weight steering wheel personally, because I can feel more of the impurities in the road and if there's something wrong with my tire. If you put it into normal, it's going to drop the RPM, so you're going to be more using a 6-speed automatic transmission. Whereas if you're in sport mode, it's going to kick it up and it's going to give you higher revs, so that way you can go to the full extent to get more performance out of it. For the 3 things I dislike, you've already heard the first. The second one is the fact that we have a 4-cylinder turbocharged. It does have the power. However, once you're trying to go past 70, 80 miles per hour, it starts to bog down a little bit. The last thing that I dislike is a 2-tier, which I'll say A is we don't have touchscreen infotainment, and it's not a digital gauge cluster or a complete digital gauge cluster. B, this isn't the shortest in class for length, and it's not the best with cargo. When you're looking for a mid-size SUV, 3-row capabilities, you really want to have a lot of storage capacity. Turn radius at a stop point is going to be about 2.5 lanes. Blind spot monitoring works about 1.5 cars to nearly 2 car lengths behind. So for safety, you're not really worried too much on the sides. In the front, the windows are large. You do sit up higher too. In each row, you sit up a little bit higher, which I'm not necessarily a big fan of sitting up higher because I'm taller, and it just makes it a little bit harder in the sense for headroom. So they do a good job with the headroom in that respect. Comparing it to the rivals, this one you can fit in the 3rd row. In the Infiniti QX60 with the redesign, you will not be able to fit if you're 6'3" with the seats. You'll have to move them up quite a bit. Toyota, if it's a Highlander, that's a very great blend. They're also implementing a twin turbo engine into it, so no more naturally aspirated V6. It's going to be tight in the 3rd row. When you're looking at it from the Honda Pilot perspective, that one, you're going to have the room in the 3rd row. However, you're not going to get the most luxury or charging ports that you would get in this one. You would have to option $50,000 to $60,000 in order to get something that you could get in a 45, 46 grand Mazda CX-9. So value, blend, everyday drive, you can definitely tackle everything. You got towing capabilities, you have the turbo, so that's gonna add the fun to it.